Thank you for joining the Author Spotlight Show. My name is Gail Watson, President and CEO of Women Speakers Association. As part of running a global community in 120 countries, it is my privilege that I get to connect and have conversations with women from all over the world. It's an important time for women to really find their voice and own their voice. It's even more exciting when she takes those words, puts them on paper into a book so she can share her voice. On today's show, we have a very special guest. She is co author in Voices of the 21st Century. So please welcome international best-selling author Vivien Rayam. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gail. A pleasure to be here today.
And great to have you. So, I am super excited about what we're going to talk about today because I think every business owner, listen up, business owners, you need to hear this because we have just come out of or we're in this climate of severe change, and it's really thrusted us into what you're talking about, Vivien, about reinvention, refocusing. So let's dive on in to the story that you share.
Yeah, so my chapter is called Pivot, Reframe, Refocus, and Re-energize. And it's all about developing a business resiliency strategy during an unprecedented event. So, for us right now, it's COVID, but it could be so many things. I know right now we're dealing with folks who have power outages in Texas, right? And so what do you do when you have these events that occur? And so for me, it was important to develop a framework, right? Something to go by, a plan, a strategy to work by. And so that's where this came from. And so this whole chapter really dives deep into that strategy.
I love that. And so, what really inspired you to want to share this story? I mean, what is that message for the business owners out there?
For me, the reason why I wanted to share this story and why it's so inspiring for me is that I saw so many people were facing the similar challenges, right? COVID hit, they didn't know what to do. There was no plan in place. Everybody was literally just trying to stop the bleeding. And so, I like to find, I call them rainbows. So the opportunities in difficult times, and said, you know what, this is a good time to put together some type of a strategy. I think it can help other business owners. And so as I was going through the process, I started to document it. And out of this sort of emerged this strategy, this framework around a business resiliency plan and the steps that you needed to take to really get through this process and to understand that this is an evolving, ever moving, constantly changing process.
I love that. And are you so as we visualize someone reading your story, what is it that you really want them to take away from it?
I want people to know that when your business goes through a difficult time, right? A challenge like this, that you're not alone, right? And you really do need resources, you need people, and you need a plan. And so, as we go through the chapter, as you look at what it takes to pivot and to reframe and to refocus and sort of re-energize yourself, you need all of those things. And we're not meant to go through this life alone. And you're definitely not meant to go through business alone.
I love that. Now, talking about your business, I mean, you are a strong business owner. You own a Code Ninjas um, education center.
Mhm.
And so share with us a little bit more about what you're doing and, maybe how you're helping other business owners out there as well.
Sure. So for us at Code Ninjas, I'll take a step back a little bit. So we teach kids about computer coding. So they learn how to code by developing their own video game. It's a 9 level belt system similar to karate. And so they learn things like JavaScript, they learn Python in various parts of our program, they learn Lua and C Sharp and Unity, but they also learn other things like 3D development, website development. So through our camps and our various badge programs, there's really a wide array of skills that our students, we call them ninjas, that they learned as they go through our program. And it's exciting. We like to say that this should not feel like a school day at Code Ninjas, right? That this is a fun place where kids learn, but where parents see results. And so, especially at a time like this where kids aren't getting out as much, having a safe place where you can bring your kids is important, but also having a virtual option. So for some parents, the virtual works. And so that's one of the ways that we had to pivot, right? Is that, hey, this pandemic isn't going away for a while. And so how do we continue our business? And so we started with online programming, and we're a brick and mortar location. And so we started that area of online group work. We do individual coaching through that. So it's just a whole nother avenue that we had to create as a result of the pandemic.
Wow, it's a lot,
Yeah.
and you went into this. I mean, there was no manual on how to pivot, was there?
No, right? There isn't a manual. And I think that's where people need to realize when I start off and I talk about pivoting, right? It's literally stop the bleeding, right? It's, something has hit. What are you going to do to make sure that you can still, survive beyond this? And so we cut expenses. So we were able to cut our expenses by 35% pretty quickly. We made a specific choice when we had to shutter our doors to freeze all of our customers, and so we weren't taking any payments. We provided some free programming because we knew that the kids were at home and they needed to do something. And some people may say that's crazy, right? You'll lose all your customers. But I believe that you got to do what's best for people at that moment, and people were struggling, right? People were losing jobs. They didn't know whether their jobs were going to be around. And so for me, I felt like the best thing we could do is have them not worry about this one thing, right? That's the thing that we can contribute to our families, is that, hey, don't worry about Code Ninjas. Let's see what's going to happen, right? And we'll be back, right? We'll be back when this is over, a month or two, for however long we had to shutter our doors. And when we came back, it was interesting because we had some of our customers came back, but then we got a whole bunch of new customers. So, we were growing even while a pandemic was going on. And so the next stage of the business resiliency is to reframe. And so when you're reframing, it's what are those opportunities? And so there was a whole nother set of customers that we were able to see. So you had, a lot of kids who were in sports, and so they weren't in sports. So parents were looking for something for their kids to do. And so they came to our centers, they saw how safe it was, they saw all of our protocols. So we picked up a whole new set of students, which was great. And so we've been able to hold steady in the midst of all of this. And that has truly been a blessing.
That's phenomenal. And, having um, watched you and had conversations with you behind the curtain during this time I mean, you are a true demonstration of, I mean, it's been your fighting attitude. I'm not giving up, doing whatever it takes as a business owner, because there's many businesses today, right now, that haven't um, been able to readjust, or and they're thinking reemerge is just not even happening. Is there other ways that I mean, because as a business owner to business owner, like to be able to connect with you, do you come in and speak to groups, or consult with other owners?
Yes. So I consult. I consult with entrepreneurs who are going through similar things. My target market is female entrepreneurs, but I am open to anybody who needs assistance, because it's important, right? You got to know how you're able to manage through this. And so when you've pivoted, right, and you've reframed and you've kind of looked at your business with the new, I said new lenses, right? 2020 vision, you move to the place of refocusing. And you're refocusing on where your business is today. You let go of what was, and you're in this place of what is. And so now how do I move ahead in this place? And that's the stage where you're doing a lot of planning based on the information you have today and where you think your business will go. And this is why it's resiliency. You got to be able to move and pivot and change, right? And so COVID has been such a great, I say, a great case study. I'm sure we're going to be looking at this for decades and decades of just how you need to continue to adjust, right? Because even right now, it's great. We have vaccines that are out, and we hope by the end of the year or sooner, we're in a better place. But there's so many caveats to that, right? There's still there's so many pieces, and you're still not sure what that timing looks like for your business. And so you have to plan with almost three different strategies, the good, better, best strategy, so that you can pivot and adjust. The last part of the strategy is the re-energize, and I love that because it's it's so important because this whole process is can be exhausting, right? It's mentally physically exhausting. And so you have to figure out not just how to re-energize yourself, but how to re-energize your customers, how to re-energize your staff, because they got to be in it for the long haul, right? And so that stage of re-energizing your base, and how do you do that, right? That would be like some of my questions. It's, this is where you have free events. We've done free events. We've online. We've brought people in so they can still be excited. I think especially now, kids need something to be excited about. They need something to be, to look forward to. And so we're able to re-energize them and give them something good, right? In the midst of a very dark time.
You have the best attitude. You really do. And you are a really beautiful definition of resilience. You just have
Mhm.
everything to. So, okay, business owners, whether you're a solopreneur or you have a multi-staff managing, having to do all of these different aspects that Vivien has just talked about, you need a copy of her book. Vivien, where can we get a copy of your book?
So reach out to me on Instagram at Vivien underscore Ram. It's the best way. You can direct message me and I'll direct you to where you need to go.
Sounds wonderful. Okay, so just reach out. And if we're seeing this on social media, just direct message or anything like
Mhm.
that. Just, okay, that was easy. Well, I want to just before we sign off, just you give such, I mean, you've given many golden nuggets throughout our conversation just now, a lot. Um, just as a wrap up, what would you like to leave us with as your words of wisdom to us to carry us through?
Okay. Two pieces. First, get a business resiliency plan. I can't say it enough. It just helps you to be prepared for whatever happens and to understand that it's a living document. So it's not a set it and forget it, kind of put it away thing. It's something that you should be constantly revisiting. At some point, COVID will sort of uh, fade away in the background. And so people get comfortable and you forget about it, but really make it a living document. And then get a network of people, have an individual, have someone you can go to and talk to about your challenges, preferably somebody who's in business, right? Because you need someone that you can bounce ideas off of, that can work with you through the struggle, to help you feel like you're not alone. Women Speakers Association is a great organization and it's a great place for that. But if that's not, where you're looking for, a friend, a family member, your husband, your wife, but really have somebody to talk to and to really be a partner with you through this process.
I love that. Not going it alone. A key message. Thanks for all that you do, and thanks for sharing your personal story about, opening your life up and your business and putting it out there and sharing the strategies that you used. For sure that would help others. And also, thanks for what you do, creating the new ninjas of our future. That's beautiful. And the fact that you said that that business grew during this time because people, parents had an outlet to plug their kids into, and it was to give them more skill and to build them for our future. So what you do is phenomenal for kids, and everybody should come check you out. So,
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
all right. So thanks again for your time. And to our audience who's listening today, I want to thank you for your time today and joining us. And wherever you are in this world, we wish you a great day. Thank you.